What's up, everybody, and welcome back to a brand new Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links video. And in today's Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links video, I'm going to be talking about some new information on the upcoming Jack Atlas event that's going to be coming on April 15th. There is 3 new cards to talk about for Jack Atlas, and we're going to be getting a brand new skill for Jack Atlas when he comes back into Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. And if you guys didn't know already, Jack Atlas, once he's coming to April 15th, is going to be unlockable for people that missed out on unlocking him, and then for all the players that, didn't unlock him and have unlocked him, we're going to be able to get all these new cards that I'm going to be talking about in today's video. So if you guys are excited for today's video, as always, be sure to go hit that like button on the video down below and subscribe to the YouTube channel for more Yu-Gi-Oh! Content and other content from me. But of course, you can wait to like and subscribe so you watch the full thing. Also, keep in mind, throughout this recording, I'm recording this video at 4 a.m. I should have recorded this video a lot earlier, but I only got notified about this recently. Well, no, I only checked Discord recently to finally hear about this information, and I just had to get a video out for you guys. So there's that right there. And without further ado, let's go into today's video. And yeah, so as you guys can see, we are on this blog spot right now, and I originally found this blog spot through D-Game. Thank you so much, D-Game, for posting this article specifically into my Discord so I can talk about this new information. And the, information is credited to this blog spot right here. And this blog spot is in Japanese, of course, and it kind of showcased a bunch of stuff right here. We have the Jack Atlas event, it's going to be coming on the 15th, and it's going to last to the 25th. And we have these screenshots right here, and these screenshots right here from a magazine, or these pictures from this magazine, are basically confirming all the drop rewards that we're going to be getting in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links once Jack Atlas comes back into Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. So what's really nice about this D-Game website right here, which I will put in the description down below because credit where credit is due, I have all these cards that are translated, and we're going to be talking about them in today's video. So we have a new skill called Maya the King, we have a new card called Mirror Resonator, Magic King Moonstar, and King's Consonance. So let's go talk about all these cards. So I'm going to switch to this section over here, and let's go break down all these cards. And the first thing we're going to be talking about is the Might of the King. This is going to be a brand new skill that we're able to unlock for Jack Atlas once he comes back into Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. So basically what this skill does is that this can be used if you control a red dragon archfiend. Instead of conducting your normal draw, you can randomly add 1 Scarlet Security, Red Dragon Vase, or Crimson Fire to your hand from outside of your deck. Now, I could have sworn I talked about this skill like a long, and I mean a long time ago. I think this is one of the skills that actually has been leaked in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links for a while now. It's been in the game files, but now they have a reason to actually add the skill into Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. Now, honestly, this skill isn't really crazy. All 3 of these cards that you're going to be able to add into your hand randomly are actually already in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. They're all normal cards, and they're not really that good. But while I don't think the skill is going to help out Red Dragon Archfiend to be competitive, not at all, I still find this skill can be useful. Anyways, though, before we dive into talking about if this skill is going to be useful or not, let's go over all 3 of the cards that you can add into your hand so that we can get caught up, and just everybody that doesn't know these cards like the back of their hand, we can talk about them. And the first card we're going to talk about is Scarlet Security. This card states that if you control a Red Dragon Archfiend, you get to destroy all spell and trap cards your opponent controls. Pretty cool right there. Like I said, this card is actually already in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, so you guys can obtain this card if you want to right now. Next up, we have Red Dragon Face. If you control a Red Dragon Archfiend, draw 2 cards. You can knock normal or special summon monsters the turn you activate this card, and until the end of your opponent's turn after this card is activated. So yeah, it's just a draw 2 right here. Pretty cool. Last but not least, we have Crimson Fire. This is a counter trap card. When your opponent activates a spell trap card that would inflict damage to you, while I control a Red Dragon Archfiend, your opponent takes twice the effect damage you would have taken instead. So all 3 of these cards are very specific. And what sucks about cards like, Crimson Fire, Red Dragon Face, and Scarlet Security is the fact that you need to have a monster on the field in order to activate these cards. And for this example, you need Red Dragon Archfiend on your field. And what sucks about these type of cards that specifically list a different monster in order to activate them, the issue is like if you draw into this card and you don't have that monster on the field already, this card is useless. Like, if your opponent destroyed your Red Dragon Archfiend, for example, and it was in your graveyard, you draw into Scarlet Security, you literally can't use it because your Red Dragon Archfiend's already dead. That's kind of the problem with skills like these, or with cards like these. And what's really cool about a skill like Maya the King is that it saves you the trouble of adding cards like Scarlet Security, Red Dragon Vase, and Crimson Fire in your deck. It saves you the room where you can put other cards instead to, 1, easily summon into Red Dragon Archfiend, and then you can use the skill to potentially draw into one of those cards. Now, the downside downside to this skill is, of course, that you have to randomly add one of those cards. You don't get to choose which card you want it to be added. If you could choose like which card you want to add to your hand out of all these three, then the skill would be like crazy good for Red Dragon Archfiend, because you already have your Red Dragon Archfiend established on your field. Use that Might of the King to your advantage, homie. But since it does add a random card to your hand, it does suck right there. But like I stated, this is nice to save your room from, instead of using those cards, you don't need to waste room in your deck to use these type of cards right there. And you know, the only way you're going to be able to activate the skill in the first place is if you have Red Dragon Archfiend in the first place. So you're guaranteed to use that card you just drew into. So it's pretty cool right there. I like this skill. While it's not good, it's not going to be competitive, I do like the skill, and I think it's pretty cool. Now let's go talk about the brand new rewards that we're going to be able to get into Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. And the first card we're going to talk about is this card called Mirror Resonator, which I have mixed opinions on when it comes to this card. Anyways, though, this is a light 1-star Fiend Tuner effect. If your opponent controls a face-up monsters, that will special summon from the extra deck, and you do not. While its cards in your hand are graveyard, you can special summon this card, but banish it once it leaves the field. You can only use the effect of Mirror Resonator once per turn. Once per turn, you can target a face-up monster opponent controls. Treat this card's level as the original level of this card used for the synchro material this turn. This card has 0 attack and defense. What I like about this card is that it is special summonable. We are kind of in a format now where special summoning from the extra deck is pretty common. Example, if you're going against a 6 Samurai player, they are most likely, in their goal is going to be summoning 6 Samurai Shien. So if your opponent has a Shien, you can special summon Mirror Resonator right away. That's pretty cool right there. What's also cool is that you can manipulate this card's level depending on what your opponent's cards are to change its level up. But while that is cool, it is kind of a downside at the same time, because the issue with this card is that it's not so reliable because of the fact that, well, you have to rely on your opponent. And I think you would want to rather rely on yourself when it comes to your cards instead of relying on your opponent for certain things, especially with a card like this. So I generally do find this card cool, but I feel like it's going to be a dead draw and a dead card in most cases. Like, for example, if you're going against Ancient Gears usually, like 9 times out of 10, don't special summon from the deck or extra deck. And if they don't, and the only times they special summon from the extra deck is if they use like the fusion, like the ultimate Ancient Gear fusion, and that takes way too many resources as it is. Like, don't even want to talk about the card. But like decks like Ancient Gear doesn't usually special summon from the extra deck, so having a card like Mirror Resonator is not going to help you synchro summon all the time because of the fact that, well, you can't special summon the dang card. So that's kind of my conflicting thoughts with this card. Like, I do think this card's cool, but it's just not practical at all because you have to rely on your opponent 24/7. So there's that right there. One card though that I think is a lot better than that one is Magical King Moonstar. This card's pretty sick. So this is a 3-star Dark Fiend effect. Cannot be used as a synchro material except for the synchro summon of a dark synchro monster. If you control a tuner monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. If this card is normal special summon, you could target one other monster you control or is in your graveyard until the end of the turn. This card's level becomes the same as the monsters. Also, you cannot special summon except by a synchro summon. So I do find this card really cool. The fact that you have a tuner on the field, you could just special summon this boy real quick right there. And if you have a card in your hand or graveyard, or actually, no, it's just in your graveyard. If you have a monster in your graveyard, you can change this card's level to that monster from your graveyard to go for other synchro summons right there. So while it does suck that you only can synchro summon dark synchro monsters with this card, if you build a specific dark synchro deck, you can combo this card pretty well and hopefully be able to easily special summon, because you can just special summon this guy along with your tuner monster that's on the field. So hopefully you can get into some easy synchro summons. Now I do have my phone on me and I have a couple suggestions of a couple cards that you could synchro summon into with Magical King Moonstar. And one card I gotta say is that you can do Chaos King Archfiend, this boy right here. You can go for, of course, the main Mad Lad Red Dragon Archfiend, which is pretty cool right there. And then you could also combo this Dragon of Rebirth card if you want to. You can combo this Underworld Fighter card and all stuff like that. There's a decent amount of dark synchro monsters that you can summon into. You can even go for Black Winged Dragon. Sorry for being a lazy content creator and not actually editing these cards on the screen, but if you guys want to get some other dark synchro monsters that you want to do, just go to the card catalog and filter your settings to where it shows dark synchro monsters that you can possibly combo with Magical King Moonstar. Overall though, this card is pretty sick. Next that we're going to be talking about is King's Consonance. I think that's how you pronounce it, but anyways, this card is really cool. So this is a trap card and it says when your opponent's monster declares a direct attack, you can negate the attack. Then you can apply the rest of this card's effect. Banish one tutor monster and any number of two non-tutor monsters from your graveyard whose levels equal 8 or less, and if you do, special summon from your extra deck one synchro monster whose levels equals the total levels of this banished monster. It's special summon is treated as a synchro summon. Now, if I'm reading this card correctly, this card's going to change a lot of things in the game. So first of all, just straight off the bat, I think you can use this card to just negate attacks overall, because when it says when your opponent's monster declares a direct attack, negate the attack, then you can apply the rest of this card effect. So if you honestly can't apply the rest of this card's effect, you should be fine, since it says that you can effect right there. So you get to protect yourself from a direct attack if shenanigans go like that. Other than that though, the fact that you can, one, protect yourself with this card, and two, special or synchro summon with this card from your extra deck is gonna be crazy. First of all, this combos well with 6 samurais already. Like, if I'm reading this card already, you're gonna help yourself summoning into Shien so much easier with King's Consonance, because you save yourself from, like, you know, getting defeated in that turn with King's Consonance, and then you can just special summon a Shien with the materials that you have in your graveyard. That's pretty insane in my opinion. I could see people using like meme decks and stuff like that grass is greener, like meme decks combo with King's Consonance and go for insane synchros right there. I could easily see that. And like, yeah, like I said, if I'm reading this card correctly, I feel like a lot of people are going to be able to figure out some really sick combos with King's Consonance, and this might be a new free-to-play trap card that is really good in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. So I'm genuinely looking forward to farming 3 copies of this card for that right there. And yeah, it's the last card to talk about in today's video, and that is about it. So if you guys watched to the end of this video and you haven't already, be sure to go hit that like button on the video down below and subscribe to the channel for more Yu-Gi-Oh! Related content and other content from me. Tell me guys what you think of these brand new card rewards in the comment section down below. This is definitely better than I would have thought when it comes to previous stuff right there, so I'm genuinely looking forward to this new event and everything like that. So yeah, that's going to be about it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll go see you guys in the next Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links video. Peace.